Thank you very much. Next up is John Daly. Sorry, I was just trying to remember. I knew your surname. I was just trying to fish it out of my brain. John Daly, if you'd like to take the stage. Then I'll start your presentation, and then you can...
Can I take this off? Okay. I can't stand here and talk. It's just one of them things. Oh, sorry. Is it to move this? Cool. Just to let everyone know, guys, I'll be talking about housing in Liverpool till 2050 and beyond. So we've just had a general election and loads of interesting things have been discussed, but one thing that came out was around housing. But there was one thing about housing that got discussed the most, and it was all around targets for national house building. 300,000 a year, what we've seen, and the last time we hit that was 1969. We're building about 150 to 200,000 now, and believe it or not, that is enough to ensure that we're growing with the population of the country when it comes up. Just like that, so we're literally in line. If we hit 300,000, we end up with a situation we are at with the homeless and the empty homes. It's like we've just got too many homes, so why are we doing it? So it's more about a sustainability issue rather than a stock issue. To the point where the UK Green Build Council said that 80% of homes we currently have are going to be here by 2050. So as a housing professional, I'll say to you, why are we focusing on 20% of the problem with new homes, when we need to be focused on 80% sustainability of our stock? Now again, looking at that sustainability, carbon emissions is a big thing, and housing accounts for 20% of all emissions. The Paris Agreement 2016 and activists like Greta Thunberg will tell us that we need to be keeping on around this. It's really important. And that's been reflected in national challenges. The Climate Change Act in 2008, in 2019, that got updated by Chris Skidmore, the net zero minister at the time, and there are 10 papers on how we achieve this in housing. All of them agree with each other. It's never easy. But again, you don't have to look so far outside of your front door, because utilities went up about 9%, food has went up 20%, inflation, rent 9%, and mortgages up to 6% mortgages. It's not just about housing in general, it's about affordability and sustainability of living in them. But who's going to afford this? If we want to get net zero in private and the public sector, it's going to be around £200 billion till 2050. Who's going to pay for it? It's mad. But what does that mean in terms of Liverpool? We've got around 230,000 homes servicing 500,000 people. We need another 60,000 by 2045. But at the same time, we've got our own challenges, and the first one being around how we use our stock. So believe it or not, families are getting older because we've got better medicine, better care, etc. But at the same time, the biggest proportion of homes are in council tax band day. So how do we make it more sustainable going forward in terms of size? Also along this as well, we are the third most deprived ward in the country for health and wealth and a number of other things. So we have to ensure affordability and equality with life opportunity. So really, really important. But also on the back of that is all around energy as well. So 55% of our homes are under EPCC, which is the government's target for 2030 energy standard. So again, fuel poverty is a massive, massive issue in Liverpool, and at the same time as well, it's inequality with deprivation. So what do we do? The Healthy Homes Agenda is a big thing. It costs, with damp and mould, the NHS £540 million a year nationally, which is absolutely crazy. At the same time as well, I don't have to speak anymore about the untimely death of Awad Ishaq, because that was really difficult, that was hard-hitting them issues. But what are we doing? Boots on the ground. We're doing insulation projects, mostly with external wall insulation, internal wall insulation, as well as underfloor insulation via Cubot, by robotics. And of course, using sheep's wool and other sustainable materials for loft insulation. We're also as well seeing an increase in the use of hydrogen, electric in terms of ground source and air source heat pumps, as well as solar PV to help actually provide not just clean electric, but cheaper electric and generation as we go. But 20% of your bill is all down to the way that you use it. And things such as your switches, your hives, your Daly, Google Nests, they're helping to automate what is going on to the point that it takes away some of the user issues. So what does it mean for housing in Liverpool by 2050? 4 things. Technology will be prevalent. We're going to have smarter homes. We're going to see this a lot more as we go, as you've just seen. If you want to see more, come speak to me afterwards. The next one is around the E when it comes up. We're going to have a VHS versus Betamax or a Blu-ray versus DVD for electric versus hydrogen. Going to be really interesting. The exciting bit is the technology is not fully formed, so we're going to see how that changes as we go. The next one is around the C, which is the community culture around energy usage. So say before, 20% of usage is down to the way you use it. It's great that us as a circle know that, but how many people out there know that? Not many. And what can we do around it? And H is about having your say in your communities. It's great people like me being on stage talking about this and chatting wham all the time about it, but at the same time we have to come together and speak to our leaders and keep people accountable to achieve sustainable homes, sustainable neighbourhoods and sustainable lives towards 2050 and beyond.
Brilliant, thank you very much. That was all really good. Thank you very much. If you want to take this